welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is the show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
And I'm Sean.
And we have nothing exciting to talk about.
Well,
I mean,
really.
we're gearing up because we got to go do a thing. But
we got a thing coming up this week, so
we're kind of gearing up for the thing.
Gearing up for the thing.
But I mean, we haven't done much this weekend. I will say, I am trying to fill out my vote by mail application for the June 5th primary here in California, and holy shit, is it like fucking forever? It's taking forever.
Yeah.
Because I have to do my due diligence and research all these people, and I'm like, why are there so many judges?
And I appreciate that you do that.
Why? Are you just gonna copy me?
No, not.
I'm just giving you shit.
It's the thing though. It's I know we bring up politics on the show from time to time, but the climate in the world today is just very contentious.
You get a lot of anxiety,
and I get really anxious about it because here's I'm just gonna say this, and then we can move on if you'd like, but I will vote for whoever doesn't want to kill me.
Fair.
And by that I mean me, I mean Jen, I mean all of our listeners, all the people that do not have who will not be able to be directly accountable for somebody else's actions that are causing increased strife in the world. I've been this way my entire life, but there's nothing more that I hate than somebody that is not willing to take accountability for their actions and to be hypocritical. And if I'm going to vote for somebody, I'm going to try to vote for the person that is least likely to do that, and to also take control and take
some sort of accountability.
Just be responsible. I just want responsible people.
You don't want to just keep blaming somebody who's not even in office anymore and not even a fucking public figure anymore, and just want to say it's so-and-so's fault.
What do you mean?
The Republicans love to blame everything on Hillary. Yeah. I'm but she's not
she's not even anything right now.
She's not anything. She's just there. What the fuck?
And all she was the senator of New York.
And, she was Secretary of State for a while.
That's right.
Yeah, but she hasn't been for a very long time. Right now, she's just a lady who writes books.
Yeah.
And that's about it. And you're just but she's not in power right now. You guys got to stop, blaming her and Obama, who, again, not president, can't do anything.
Has not been president for a while. But
I'm so angry.
But that's what's it. I just want...
That's my noise.
That's a good noise.
That's literally what I sound like just all the time. I just walk into Starbucks and they're like, what can I get you? And I'm like, I'm so angry. And they're like, oh, one latte coming up.
And then they put it down and you go sit down and go, Rah!
Pretty much.
And I just, look, I mean, I'm going to vote for whoever doesn't want to outright try to murder me and my fellow man and woman.
Good call.
I would like for that to not happen. Cause look, when I'm going to go
hopefully not being murdered.
Because somebody was like, hey,
Sean's goal, not to be murdered.
I fucked up. Now you're all dead.
To not be murdered. Good goal. I like that.
I mean, I can't. Yeah, I mean, there's many ways to get murdered.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But in terms of
let's list all of them.
Yes. Let's do a special podcast where Sean and Jen list murders.
You could be stabbed.
You could be stabbed. You could be
shot.
You
could be run over with a car.
You can be murdered by a
strangulation.
Strangulation. Or you could be hit in the face with a sack of ball bearings.
Oh, that's true. You could also be hit in the back of the head with a rock.
You could be hit in the back of the head by the rock.
Oh, that would probably murder you. Yes, that is true.
Because the rock just immediately explodes everything that he touches. He's like, hey, how's it going? On the rock.
You could be poisoned.
I could be poisoned by poison.
See, look at that.
by Bret Michaels and Poison. The band could be like, hey, we put some Clorox in our beer, and now you're drinking it, now you're dead. I didn't realize it. It doesn't affect us because we're rock stars from the 80s. But
yeah, trust us, we've done worse.
You, sir, Sean Merrick, who just happened to be backstage at our show, you drank the Clorox beer, and now you're dead.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Sean got murdered. So... Yeah, but I mean, look, but moving on from this because I can go on for I can you know what I can go on for
how to be murdered.
Yeah, I can go on for hours thinking of
we really could. I mean, there's so many. You could be purposely electrocuted.
Yeah, these are just the big ones.
Yeah, this is just off the top of my head, man. I'm not really thinking about
Listen, if this was Family Feud, we get a lot of those top ones.
That's true. We would win the murder edition of Family Feud.
Which
speaking of,
is that a thing?
I have no idea, but it should be. Because today we went to the beach this morning.
Oh, we did go to the beach, yes.
To sit and have coffee. I try to avoid the Daystar. But when I go out, I wear a hat because I'm an old woman. So I was like, oh, I'm going to, we bring books. Usually you read some comics. But I was reading Michelle McNamara's I'll Be Gone in the Dark, which is about the Golden State Killer, who was just captured a month ago.
Yes.
Which I was like making my way through that book.
And it happened.
Yeah, when I was like, I had already started reading it, and I was like, I don't know, like a third of the way in, and he got captured. And then it was like, what? And so then I took it to the beach, and I was like, my idea of a beach read might be a little skewed. I don't think this is the type of book one should take to the beach.
No, I disagree. I think you're.
You're supposed to bring like fun beach reads that are like people falling in love and like about dogs and shit. Like that's what you bring.
You
to
have
the beach.
A very broad conception of what people read at the beach.
No, I know what a beach read is. A beach read is a very specific category of a book. And it's about like vacations and fun and happiness and like.
But are you saying though that people just are obsessed with murder books?
I'm just saying like if you go into the store and you go to the beach reads table, you're not gonna find true crime.
Oh.
But my idea of what a beach read is could be a little different.
No, hey, whatever floats your boat. I mean, shit, I'm out there.
Stab.
I'm reading my Scarlet Witch, or the Avengers West Coast Scarlet Witch trade that I picked up a few weeks back, and I am greatly enjoying it. Scarlet Witch is fucking insane.
She's batshit.
She's bad. She's batshit, and she's bad shit.
Well, she's got some problems,
and I don't even know. She's like literally. Okay, look, if we're talking about comics, the comic book world should begin and end with her, because apparently she could do whatever the fuck she wants.
It's all in her head,
and she could just go. Yeah, she literally eradicated all the mutants from the Marvel universe at one point, to the point where there were only 198 mutants left. That was a thing that they were like, yeah, she did that. And then she could she could do whatever she wanted. And people were
She's got the weirdest power set.
Because
sometimes she can't do shit, and then other times she can eradicate all mutants.
It's whoever writes her and whatever they want to use her for. Yeah. And then it's because I'm reading through this book and I'm like, okay, this is great, but she can literally just be, she's actually one of the,
like Jean Grey level, like powerful, if she can like eradicate that many mutants.
She's more powerful than Jean Grey, as far as I'm concerned. But she's probably the character I think that has frustrated me if not one of the characters, definitely one of the characters, if not the character that frustrates me the most in comic books. Because I do not understand her.
Yeah,
I can't understand why. And how it's just like I read it,
and because she changes so drastically based on the writer.
Because she's just a woman, she's just a mutant woman, with a probability, powers that affect probability. Mm-hmm. That's the explanation. But basically, that means she could do whatever the fuck she wants. She could increase the probability of our Zoom recorder here, bursting into flames, and then it'll just happen. And I'm like, well, then you could literally do anything.
Yeah,
you could rig every election. You could change the outcome to any football game. You could change. If there's more of a certain action figure in a toy assortment to a toy store than others. You could do. These are just random ass things.
Yeah,
but you could do all these things, and it's just like, oh yeah, well she could do it. And I'm like, well, then why are we not? Why does anybody even bother trying? She could just be like, oh, I don't want that to happen.
Sorry.
I don't want there to be no more cake. All the cake disappears.
I'm sorry. There's still cake if that makes you feel better.
Yeah, because she's not a real person.
I know, but even in the Marvel universe, there's still cake.
She did not say no more cake.
She did not say no more cake. She might have said no more mutants. oh, my children aren't real. But she did not say no more cake. So she is left to the cake.
Yes.
Which is nice of her.
Well, she doesn't have any use for cake because she doesn't have kids that are real.
Well, I mean, even if you don't have kids, you can still eat a cake.
I don't know. Just had a
we don't have kids. Can I still eat cake?
I don't know. I haven't thought about that yet. Why did I jump?
What do I do? Like, I'm starting to put it in my mouth and somebody comes, slaps the fork. They're like, Jen, no, you have no children. You cannot enjoy that cake. And I'll be like, you're right.
Yeah, why did I jump to that conclusion?
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
I just was thinking. I was like, oh,
only people with children can enjoy delicious cakes.
That's true. Yeah, no, it's not entirely. I mean, you can enjoy candy as an adult.
No, apparently not.
Oh,
apparently in the Sean universe.
Am I Scarlet Witch? Do I have? Did I? Am I just making random decrees and be like, nobody over the age of 30 can enjoy chocolate?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's like half of TV now. It's just older people enjoying chocolate.
What shows are you watching?
I'm talking like...
Are you watching the Chocolate Channel?
Well, it's like,
Is it on YouTube Brown?
It's a Kimmy Schmidt reference.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, in case you haven't watched the new season of Kimmy Schmidt.
Lots of good gags.
Or the first half of the new season of Kimmy Schmidt.
But I mean, it just feels like, it's people just feel like having a good time. Like I imagine that's what most of, Modern Family is, just a lot of those people on that show just being like, hey, we enjoy everything.
I don't know what Modern Family is about.
I
have decided that I'm okay never really understanding what Modern Family is about and hating it anyway.
Modern Family to me is the Scarlet Witch of television programs. Because I don't understand why.
That's the thing, because we'll go to the laundromat and we'll catch the end of Modern Family, like the last 5 minutes. And every single time I'm just like, who is watching this show? And why are you watching this show? Nothing that is happening here is bad. It's all bad.
Who started watching? That's what I'm trying to understand. Look, I understand you like what you like. Yeah. But I'm trying to figure out how it is that a lot of people all of a sudden started watching this show and went, this is really good programming, and it's just a bunch of
super rich fuckers,
super rich white people yelling about things.
Yeah,
and then you have, but
their difficult rich white lives.
And then you have Sofia Vergara,
and her weird kid.
But
that's it.
And look, I mean, I don't know. You can't tell. Yeah, I'm speechless. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just like, well, you had a gay male couple who really loved each other.
Show,
You're like, yeah, okay, I can see that, but at the same time, nothing on this show is good. I've
never appealed to me.
No.
It's kind of like also too where they do, I'll say this real quick. It's the same thing that frustrates me about The Office.
Oh yeah.
That it's like, oh, we're doing a documentary on this thing, and I'm like, well, you could do a documentary on everything, but why? These are just people that, and it's like, and the documentary's been going on for like 8 years.
I think that's the thing.
And are we ever going to see this documentary?
I think that's the thing. Like, I feel like you could do something, and I don't remember how many seasons the British Office ran.
I don't think it ran as long as the American Office.
Which is probably a good instinct. I think if you're going to be like, we're going to do this and we're going to be done in 3 seasons, I think that's the way you do it. Because it only makes sense to do it that way.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't care. I didn't watch The Office.
Yeah, neither did I. So again, we don't watch anything good that our people think is good.
Well, we don't watch stuff that like everybody likes.
Well, we do watch. Well, a lot of people like Kimmy Schmidt. So
sure.
I'll use that as an example. We watch that.
Yes,
that's very funny.
Watch Archer.
We watch I just actually got really into Archer because of you.
Because it's hilarious.
I don't know why. I had this thing where I had I first saw.
Because he had cancer.
No, it wasn't not that.
It was because you saw the episode where he had cancer and it really made you upset. I'm telling you right now, I remember this very distinctly. Meh.
Yeah. No, listen. So, yeah, okay, there was an opposite. There was a thing in Archer where he had cancer, and there was a lot of very accurate things about cancer treatment that were portrayed in the show.
Yes.
However, I will say that even before that happened, I'm telling you, there wasn't, I mean, I just tested it out. Like, I feel like it was just on, like when it was first on, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll see what this is about. Mm-hmm. Cause I think they were actually originally I thought we had FX, but no, I think it was something where it was already being like collected on like Hulu or something. Mm-hmm. And I watched it, and it didn't hit me. I didn't feel it. And I just, I kind of just wrote it off. Mm-hmm. And then, you started doing a rewatch again.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And I think it is hilarious.
Yeah, it's very funny.
It's very funny. It's very clever. It's very stupid.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of random ass comic book references.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird literary references in there too.
Yeah.
Just like books and shit. You're just like, what is even happening?
Yeah, it's pretty.
It's a fun. I enjoy it.
It's a fun show. I mean, I could spend a long time just pointing out all the things I like about it, but you're better off just to go see it yourself.
Terms of it, rampagement.
Yes.
Yes. Just watch Archer.
And all the characters.
Now, I don't know about the current season. We don't have that. We just have all the.
Well, we're making our way to it.
We're making our way through
up there, but but I just like all the random characters and how fucking nuts they are sometimes. Mm-hmm. I think Krieger's one of my favorites. Dr. Krieger. There's so many just random gags. It's very much like Kimmy Schmidt in a way, where there's just a lot of gags.
Yes,
and they just crank them out there. But but it's stuff that like stupid stuff that appeals to me. Like I don't think it definitely doesn't appeal to everybody. But appeals to a lot of people, like myself. And it doesn't feel, at least both of those shows don't feel so like,
yeah,
like fucking indie comedian, wanking off kind of fucking show. And I just, yeah.
I'm surprised that's not all Comedy Central's lineup. Indie comedian wanking off.
Well, they haven't gotten there because they still have to do like angry club comedian gets show. You gotta do those. They're still working on those.
Oh, I got you. We gotta work through.
And we're still kind of mixing all that in, and then there's. I'll stop while I'm ahead.
Yeah, I think
because I will talk about this sort of stuff.
You're full of a lot of rage lately, towards certain things.
It's true.
So angry.
I don't know why.
About this, that, and the other. I don't know. You need to find some way to calm down. I suppose we could segue and say we can calm down by talking about our book.
We will, yes.
Transition.
Yes. Well, we'll take our break real quick. I just want to point out too, just mention too. I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Lego. And I've been enjoying that.
That's good.
The Force Awakens. I bought that like probably like a year ago, and I just never got around to playing it. And I barely remember the Force Awakens. Like, I remember it, but I don't remember everything about it.
Right.
So I've been playing that, and it's quite enjoyable. It's just a lot of, because the Lego games are just stupid and just fun. We've talked about that here before, but a lot of random. I don't know. I just have it. I'm enjoying it. There's a new DC Lego game coming out at the end of the year.
I know you're so excited.
November, I think, or October or something. And it's just based on villains. And I was actually been trying to rack my brain trying to think like, well, are they just going to do just villains? Or are they going to do like...
I don't know. You've got to have the other characters, right?
I think it maybe... it's kind of weird that... instead of just being like, oh, we're doing this as a villain one, but then you kind of need to have like all the main characters.
Right.
Like you can't just be like, oh, there's no Batman and Superman in this game. It's just the villains. I'm like, well, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
I'm sure you probably have to have all of them. We'll see. We'll see what it ends up being.
Yeah. So there's that. That'll be fun. I think, and if anything, I'll be excited if they find a way to work in, Eclipso, because I feel if it's a villain book or villain game, you kind of need to really double down on all the villains.
Sure.
So if you're gonna have to get in a few of my guys, let's face it.
Yeah.
So, Well, that being said, speaking of DC, that's one of our books this week. So we'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll have our book for this week.
Trekker Talk. a fan podcast devoted to the adventures of 23rd century bounty hunter Mercy St. Clair, from the pages of Trekker Comics by writer and artist Ron Randall.
I'm Darren.
And I'm Ruth.
Please join us as we discuss the stories, characters, and art in this excellent retro sci-fi adventure series.
Special episodes feature interviews with Ron Randall himself discussing Trekker and his other comics.
We hope you'll join us as we travel from the dangerous backstreets of New Guelph to the depths of outer space and everywhere in between.
Listen at Podbean, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and YouTube.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or visit trekkertalk.com.
Trekker Talk is part of the Rad Adventures Network at radadventuresnetwork.com.
All right, we're back here on Worst Collection Ever with our book for this week. It is Justice League of America, number 186 from January 1981. We are going to do something from the 80s.
Oh, man.
I feel like we've been neglecting the 80s recently.
Yeah, it happens.
Neglecting the 80s.
It's a neglected decade.
It is, yeah. It's the decade I was born. Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck.
Nobody gives a shit about the 80s.
Yeah.
Justice League of America, number 186. On the cover, we have... It's the return of the Shaggy Man.
Yes, and it says, "Who can stop the Shaggy Man?" And we have a picture of what looks like a giant ape on top of a rocket that is being shot into space. And he is holding Batman by the body.
Yeah, he's got Batman, kind of like King Kong would.
Yeah. And it's being taken off, and then on the rooftop staring at this is the Flash and Black Canary. And Elongated Man is trying to
stretch out and
catch Batman. What does he say there?
Well, there's an arrow point. First of all, there's an arrow pointing to the Shaggy Man, saying he's deadlier than ever, and that's because
he's the Shaggy Man.
He's the Shaggy Man, and
he's not Shaggy. What was Shaggy a rapper? You remember Shaggy?
Yeah, Shaggy.
Yeah. This is not the same Shaggy.
This is also not Shaggy.
We just have to. This is not Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Yes.
We just have to clarify which Shaggy we're talking about.
Shaggy that'd be Shaggy the Man. And then you would have Shaggy the Rapper.
Is Shaggy the Man like Portugal the Man?
So the Elongated Man is saying that that monster is dragging the Batman into outer space, and there's no way we can save him.
Oh no, Batman's gonna die. R.I.P.
This is the book where Batman dies.
This is the one.
The one.
The one.
So the story is called "Who Could Stop the Shaggy Man?" We're to the point. So.
Yep.
In this particular iteration of the Justice League, we have the Atom, Batman, Black Canary, Elongated Man, and the Flash. Mm-hmm. I don't know where everybody else is.
Oh, they do have a conversation about where everybody else is.
Oh, that's right, because there's like a bunch of...
They're on like Apocalypse or something.
That's right, yeah. There's some our dark side shit going on.
Yeah.
Green Arrow just quit.
Yeah, he said fuck this game, and he was like out.
Yeah.
So we start in Siberia watching the Russian army huddled around a fire, at least two dudes. Yeah. And then all of a sudden out of the snow comes
the Shaggy Man.
At least we see arms.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, and like one dude gets killed and the other one like runs off through the snow to find his other friends. And his other friends are like, yeah, they're like, dude, the abominable snowman's not a thing. What's wrong with you? He's like, here, I'll show you. He takes him back, finds the dead soldier. And they're like, you killed this guy. So they murder him.
Yeah.
They put him up against a post and they execute him via firing squad, which, again, another way to be murdered.
Ooh.
So, we're tying it all together.
Uh-huh. Yeah, he shows up and then there's just...
You could be murdered by the Shaggy Man, and then you could be murdered by firing squad.
Even though there's big feet here too, nobody.
I know these huge tracks, and the guy's like, "Nah, man."
Nobody wants to sell it.
So they kill him, and they don't care. And then 2 months later, we are on the Justice League Watchtower, and Elongated Man's on monitor duty.
Who built the watch? Was it the United Nations?
Well, you know what? I don't know about this iteration. I know in the cartoon of the Justice League. Doesn't Batman build it using money and like Wayne Enterprises that he like hides in the budget or something?
Is this what?
Which that would he shouldn't be CEO of anything. But what?
No, I was just gonna make a stupid
We like stupid jokes.
I was just thinking, like, when our president's like, we're going into space for police. And I'm like, is this what he thinks?
I think this is what he means by Mexico's going to pay for the wall. Because it exists. It's much like the Justice League Watchtower. It exists, but nobody really knows who paid for it. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, our buddy, what's his face?
Elongated Man.
Yes.
Who I hate.
Yeah, Elongated Man is...
As we know. There's a couple times in here where his stretching is like... Because that's the problem I have with Elongated Man is the way that they constantly make him stretch. Even when he shouldn't be stretching. There is no reason for him to be doing some of the stretchy shit that he's doing. Like, who puts a book down like that? Because he's like, he gets up because he's reading a book about a mystery and he's like, man, I'm bored. I wish there was mystery for me. And he gets up to like go in the kitchen and he turns around, he's walking away and he elongates his arm like all the way behind him and like twists and turns and stuff and puts the book back down on the table.
Yeah, instead of just putting it down and getting up.
That's what I mean. It's like, that expends so much energy.
And then here's another one too, where he gets to the kitchen. But he stands like 20 feet away from the fridge just to stretch to open the fridge and get to the fridge and open it.
Yeah, and I'm like, now if you drew Elongated Man stretching his neck and his arm to go into the kitchen and open the fridge so he didn't have to get up from where he was sitting.
Which makes sense.
That makes sense to me and I totally buy it. I don't buy this random like, I'm going to tie myself in a knot just cuz.
So Elongated Man, the thing I don't get about him is that, so you got Plastic Man who fell into some chemicals and got his body altered so he can stretch.
Right.
Reed Richards was bombarded by cosmic rays.
Right.
That changes molecular
Sure.
makeup. Elongated Man drinks a cola.
I know.
And even though he's drank cola, it's like he's...
I mean, in fairness, we could say there are many sodas that shall remain nameless that are more goop than actual food. Right?
Well, right. Yeah, it's soda.
Yeah, soda's disgusting. So we could say that maybe he just got one of those sodas.
Well, the reason is that he drinks the extract from the gingold fruit.
Right.
And that is apparently what the contortionists would use to help them contort.
Sure.
You know, like, I guess if like all the famous contortionists in the world, but he's able to, that's what he uses. But for some reason, that also allows him to stretch immensely in every possible way.
I know.
And it seems like it's very, his abilities are...
It's excessive.
His abilities are much more excessive than the reason for his abilities.
Yeah.
And it doesn't sit well with me because it's like, oh, he drinks this extract. And I'm like, well, wait, so does he constantly take it? Like, because at
That's
this point,
thing. I'm like, how often does he have to drink this thing?
I mean, if that's because the way that he stretches and the way that he uses it so frivolously,
Yeah.
you'd think that he'd have to constantly be like, hitting himself with some sort of dose,
Right.
to keep it going.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. So
We always discuss the fact that Elongated Man is dumb.
I mean, he's a cordy dude, but
I just do not like him. I don't like the way they draw his stretchiness. I definitely don't like the way he makes sandwiches,
well,
which
go ahead
we're
and
going to
explain.
talk about
you
here
explain
in a
this
second.
because he makes a
So
sandwich. Go ahead and explain the
he
sandwich.
goes to get a sandwich. Fine. And he's like, I just wish there was a mystery. Everybody else is hanging out on Apocalypse doing whatever the fuck they're doing, but no, not me. I get to just sit here and like bite my fingernails. I'm totally bored. Man, I wish there was a mystery. I like puzzles. I like mystery. I mean, basically he talks to himself for like 3 pages. And so he's in the kitchen and he's gonna make himself a sandwich. And you're like, cool, good idea, Elongated Man. Make a sandwich. What kind of sandwich you making? So he's grabbing all of these things, and I see that he has cheese.
Yes.
A giant ham, like the kind of ham you cook at Christmas. This isn't just like deli cold cuts.
Well, he's got to cut the pieces off.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't just get cold cuts. There's a fucking ham. Like, somebody...
Hey, this is Batman's tower.
That's true.
He's bringing. There are whole hams every time you go.
Do you think it's like go to buffet where there's like an actual dude who carves? Like, there's a carving station for this ham?
Well, that guy died.
Well, that
guy was up there and then he died, and
now he's
Elongated Man's like, oh, R.I.P. Jimmy the Carver.
I gotta do this myself. So he's
because he died up there and they just shot him out into space.
Yeah, so you can see that he's got cheese and ham, and he's pulling down a can of peanut butter, or jar of peanut butter. And so we see what his sandwich looks like, and it's a piece of bread on the bottom. There's the ham. I see lettuce. I see tomatoes. I see a piece of Swiss cheese.
Okay.
And on top of the piece, because it's got holes in it, that's how we can tell it's Swiss cheese.
Okay, so that's a sandwich right there.
That's a sandwich. And on top of the Swiss cheese, Elongated Man is spreading peanut butter, which I'm assuming, it doesn't say crunchy. So
no, it's just smooth peanut butter.
It's just creamy peanut butter, and he's just smearing it on top of a piece of fucking Swiss cheese.
The mystery.
To eat with his ham.
The real mystery. Yeah, peanut butter and ham.
Oh, dude, that sounds disgusting. Is that a thing?
You know what? I don't know. This is kind of like Tony Schiavone, wrestling announcer Tony Schiavone, putting over dipping your Oreos into Lay's onion dip.
That man is a maniac, and he should be stopped.
I bet he is a peanut butter and Swiss man.
Oh, God. That sounds just awful. This is like something that somebody would write into the Deadspin adequate man thing to be like, hey, Drew, do you think you could do this? And he would be like, you're a monster. No, don't ever put those two flavors together.
Has there ever been a DC Comics cookbook?
Oh, wasn't there at one point?
Well, I mean, obviously the recipe to Green Arrow's chili is a thing.
That's what I was going to say. I know that's a thing.
I know that's been like, you can find that. But has there
is it
been like
an actual
other like
cookbook?
cookbooks, like, you know, like all the shit that, you know, like, oh, Ma Kent makes this really good pie. Here's the recipe for that pie.
Should we write that cookbook?
Well, we'd have to find all the things. You have to find all the things that...
Speaking of, oh shit, I just put my phone away. It's from Miss Lena Royer, who is a cosplayer. She's got a lot of awesome pictures on her Instagram of her cosplaying different characters. But she sent me 2 pictures from, she says what she believes is Batman number 37 from 2016. And it is Lois Lane, Batman, Catwoman, and Superman at like a fair, but like Lobo is like there for some reason. And they're all eating corn dogs?
That's right. Okay, yeah, that's right. They're eating corn dogs. And they're all in their... Well, this is what's weird is
they're all in their costumes, but like Lobo's there, but he looks like... I think it's Lobo. It's a guy who looks like Lobo.
It looks like Lobo, but he's wearing
a loincloth?
Yes, I can say that.
So maybe he's just a giant carny.
And for some reason...
Maybe he's not really a Lobo. Maybe he's just a carny that looks like a Lobo.
And Batman also has... Or Superman also has looks like a hunk of cotton candy.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But Batman is just like, they're eating corn dogs. And then there's another picture, which is a follow-up picture.
Where they're eating ice cream?
They're eating ice cream.
Yeah.
Batman he looks the saddest I've ever seen somebody look eating ice cream.
Well, I mean, Batman looks, you know what, actually, it's not that he's sad. It's like, he's just shoving this in his face like he doesn't know how to eat ice cream.
He probably doesn't.
Do you see it? It's just like, Catwoman at least has her tongue out, and like Superman's like looking at an ice cream cone like one would, and like Lois Lane's gonna take a lick of it. Batman is literally
just shoving his mouth.
Just shoving it in his face. Like he's just like, if I put this towards my lips, it will go here. And it's probably just melting. He doesn't realize he's supposed to eat it. He's just probably standing there and like it looks like vanilla, and it's probably just running onto his cape. He's just
he's gonna have sticky cape.
Yeah, he's gonna have a really sticky cape.
He's
gonna go home and Alfred's gonna have to like wash his hands clean like you would a toddler.
Nope.
So yes, but thank you for sending me this, Miss Lena Royer. This is fantastic, and I'm so very happy because we love pictures of superheroes eating. So please send me all of those things. And you know what? Maybe we should make I'll invent the Batman ice cream cone that you just shove in your face.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't know because it's a carb. You know, he doesn't know how to deal with carbs.
It's a sweet. He's confused about the sweet.
Yeah, I don't know if he doesn't enjoy things.
No, he's probably just right now. He's like trying to eat the ice cream, but all he can think about is that his parents are dead. So he's just crying onto the ice cream, which is making it even like weirder
and like salty treat.
It kind of melts faster when you cries on it.
It is a salty treat with the tears of an orphan.
Oh, you know what? Maybe that's it. Maybe Batman's ice cream. It'll be Batman's ice cream, and it'll be salty caramel because it's got tears in it.
Because of the tear, the bitterness is from the tears of the orphan.
Yeah, from him crying about his parents. So it's like a salted caramel thing. And maybe we could figure out... There's some ice cream they do here that's like black.
Yeah. It's like charcoal.
It's charcoal ice cream. Maybe we could make it that color. Just taste like salted caramel. So it's depressing and sad for Batman. Blends into the night. But also full of salty tears.
Yeah. I like where this is going.
I think this is the book we have to write now.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
As far as Elongated Man goes, he's the one that like eats all like the the shitty flavors. It's like, hey man, we made some like Baskin Robbins. Like, hey,
this is like 1950s cooking. This is like when everything was like in a Jello mold.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Like Betty Draper would be like, "Good idea, peanut butter on Swiss cheese," and you're like, "Oh no, what's wrong with you?"
Yeah. No, that's
before you people knew what flavor was.
Before the 50s, people didn't know what flavor was.
No, I mean, have you ever seen any of those like old books, like old cookbooks from the 50s and stuff? Oh, everything's in a mold, and it's like weird tuna salad, and like
I like tuna.
No, but I mean like tuna salad with Jello.
Wait, Jello in tuna salad?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, there's a lot of really gross shit. Everything's like a Jello mold. It's really upsetting. It's very, very upsetting.
Yeah, I can't.
Whenever you see any of that like retro cooking stuff, you're like, oh my god, no wonder you people are fucking drunk all the time. It's the only way you could stomach this shit.
I just want to vomit.
Yeah, it's gross.
Moving forward.
Oh yeah.
This is a big thing that came up with this book. Where it's just like, this is going to take us a minute.
We had to talk about Sam.
Somehow he doesn't choke to death here too, because
he should, because he ties his neck in like 4 knots.
While in mid chew, like he takes
while
a chew,
he's swallowing.
He's swallowing, and he sees apparently a
rocket,
like a rocket fly by, and he's like, oh shit.
He's like, and he sticks his head up, and he's like, that's not right.
Yeah. So then we jump to
Flash is like on
Central
Earth.
City.
He's helping like a racer who's like in a NASCAR type thing, and the wheel's falling off her car, and he helps her, and he brings her into the pit, and he's like, I saved you, and she's like, oh my gosh, us speedsters have to stick together, Smeech.
Yep.
And he runs away. And so I guess he's there on a date.
He's there on a date. This is actually I like this because this is a thing I actually like to see if this gets resolved in his own book, where he's on a date with an unnamed woman. I'm assuming
her name's Fiona or something.
Oh, Fiona, that's right.
Yeah.
Duh. But it's not Iris.
No.
So because it's Barry.
Yeah.
So Barry's on a date with some chick named Fiona, and he's like, oh shit. I told her I told her I was leaving to go get some hot dogs. Mm-hmm. But I decided to.
Oh, but I had to go help the people.
Help these people because clearly I could, apparently I could see something was wrong, and I'm the Flash, and I could do this.
Well, her wheel came off.
Yeah, he saved this woman's life. So
yeah, also robbed all these people of seeing a spectacular car accident,
right? Which
we know is pretty much the reason they went to this event in the first place.
So as he's going back to his seat, he gets his emergency signal, and then he's like, "Oh shit, I can't ignore it. Barry Allen's date is ruined. Well, at least I could the least I could do is buy a hot dog buy Fiona a hot dog, and then make my apologies, and then head to the transporter."
Yeah.
But
which is what he does. We assume. He's like, I'm going to go find a hot dog vendor. And he runs away.
Is there something though where he does?
That's it.
I thought there was more where he did he just run and buy it back?
Well, he ran over to one of the vendor guys who walk up and down the thing.
Oh yeah.
The stairs. So he didn't go stand in line. Because if he was standing in line, that would take him an additional half an hour.
Yeah.
As we all know.
Yeah.
Any sort of sports concession is a nightmare. So he just found a vendor, I'm assuming gave this woman a hot dog and ran away. And I don't know if that's a euphemism. He's like, I'm going to give this woman my hot dog before I leave.
Oh, speaking of the cookbook. Barry Allen's Speed Dogs.
Oh, God. Ew,
Barry Allen's Speed Weeders.
Barry Allen Speed Weeders. Are those just Texas Red Hots?
Yeah, because they go right through you.
God.
Shout out to Texas Red Hots.
Man, this is going to be the best cookbook. I can't wait. So now we're in
Star City. And
Black Canary. And Green Arrow getting ready to fuck.
They let me be a bit more comic book accurate. Softly lighting a man and a woman as they silently converse in the universal language of love.
Oh, they're in front of a fireplace.
Squish.
They are getting ready to have some squish, but unfortunately, Black Canary's thing goes off, and then Green Arrow's like, "Why you leaving?" And she's like, "'Cause I have to go. You quit, but I didn't." Obviously, you understand this.
But I'm hard.
But it's kind of If you're like a doctor or a police officer or a fireman or something, like, isn't there like times when you're like gonna get it and that alarm goes off and you're like, gotta stop, gotta go do my job, like, because you're on call, dude. That's the thing.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know.
If popular culture and a number of medical and police dramas have told us,
those people are fucking all the time.
Well, they're fucking all the time, but they need to take care of the justice,
right? And patience,
saving lives.
Yeah.
And Black Canary is doing the same here.
Yeah, and Green Arrow's like, meh. And so she leaves. And then we have like Adam. They show like Adam and Batman.
I want to point out here too, I've always been confused about this iteration of Dinah.
Where she has black hair?
She has black hair, like long black hair, like the fucking Baroness.
Yeah.
And
she wears a blonde wig.
And she wears like a blonde wig that's almost the same length. And like, so.
Yeah, I don't get that either. I'm like.
I mean, it's like technically you could fit it over that, but it's still.
Well, you could.
Like, I guess just wearing like a.
But the thing
like
is
hair
it's not like one of those just, throw it on and go type of things. Like, she's got to pin that shit up. She's got to put the wig cap on. Like, that probably takes some doing.
Yeah. And for somebody that, it's a secret identity, I mean, I just feel like it's probably a lot more work than. Than it is. Like, here she just literally just dresses and then she. Well, we don't see her doing it, but she's carrying the wig. Like, she just throws it on. It's like, goodbye.
Yeah, that's not how wigs work.
They needed you here back in 1981.
Well, I mean, I don't know a ton about wigs, but I know that, on the occasion when I've tried to throw a wig on my head, like, it takes a lot to try to corral my hair.
Well, because you want it to look good.
Right, and you can't just, like, put it in, like, a ponytail, because then it just sticks out of the back of your head. You look all weird.
So, Ollie's like, bah! And then everybody else shows up to the transporter.
Yeah, they're just like, here's Batman and Adam, and they all go to the transporter, and they all show up at the same time. They're all in the tube together.
Yeah, I don't know why they all got in the same tube.
Yeah, which it kind of looks like they're all very close together. Like, it looks like Batman's just, like, in everyone's space.
Who's got the biggest cape?
Probably.
Because everybody else has got, like, minimal gear, and he's like, I'm sorry, I got my cape.
Yeah. Elongated Man is like, hello, look, Russians came to see us.
Yeah.
And the Flash is like, fuck the Russians.
Almost off the bat. Yeah. No.
Immediately like, fuck these Russians.
Barry Allen has no time for Russians. And this is 1981.
Right.
So
we're still in the Cold War.
These are tough.
We're in Cold War One.
Okay.
So I would probably say we're almost in Cold War II at this point.
Oh, it's getting chilly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know if this is a Cold War at this point or like a weirdly, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever's happening now.
But Barry's like, hey, fuck you Russians, America, protest the games or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever
USA.
He's
like, listen, like they're having this problem because
U.S. hockey team.
The Shaggy Man is apparently like fucking just wrecking Russian cities, and they need the Justice League's help, but they didn't want to call because obviously we're in a Cold War.
Well, no, also too, I feel like they didn't want to get shot like the other guy did.
Yeah.
I feel like that was when I got the impression that's why they're like, hey, let's go into space and talk to Elongated Man while he's eating this disgusting sandwich because I don't want to get murdered by the other Russian people.
Yeah, I don't want to be firing squatted. And
firing squatted. So yeah, but
Barry's like, that's fucking bullshit because you know what? We defeated the Shaggy Man.
Also, commie pinkos are liars.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on too. And then there's this story about the Shaggy Man, from like Justice League of America number 45.
Well, here's the thing about the show. So Shaggy Man has been around for forever.
Yeah.
And he's been around primarily in Justice League stories for, at least 2 other times before this, but he's been around for a long time. And I'm actually glad to have this book because I've always been very fascinated by Shaggy Man because basically he was created by some scientist.
Uh-huh.
But he was created there was some sort of material, plastilloy or whatever it's called. And that substance, he created an angry monster out of it and somehow it came to life. We don't know. But somehow it became to life, and all it wants to do is kill and fight.
Yeah.
But the problem is when you go to blow it up, it continues. It can regenerate itself.
Yeah.
So you cannot defeat it. And it constantly. It's just a regrowing thing that constantly wants to kill.
Yes.
But I've always been very interested in the Shaggy Man because I'm like, well, how do you defeat it?
Right.
What do you do? It's just like this crazy monster. So
we see how they did defeat it was They couldn't defeat it, so they created another Shaggy Man.
Yes, which is stupid.
Which is dumb, but then they made them fight each other, and then they covered them in rocks.
Yes.
So they could, like, fight underground.
Apparently, the idea was
for all eternity.
Yes, the idea was that they were going to create another Shaggy Man, which basically looks just like a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
So just imagine.
It's just a Sasquatch.
Just a big Sasquatch. And basically, they're like, hey, we got these two monsters are going to fight underground. Forever. Hopefully nobody will find them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that would suck if you're just
Hopefully nobody's going to ever come through and be like, we need to put a sewer line here.
Or maybe somebody's like, hey, let's build a hotel over this. Oh my God, monsters that have been fighting for years are now unleashed.
I just love the idea that, like, put them in a hole, put some rocks on them, they'll be fine.
Because they're so focused on fighting each other.
At least with Bizarro, they took him into space.
Well, eventually, like, that's what they do here. Because I was thinking, it's like, well, just fucking throw. Because that's the thing. If you're Superman, just throw everything into space.
That's what he does.
That's what Superman. That's what Superman does. Throw it. It's like, what is that? A problem? Throw it into space.
Space is Superman's trash can.
Yes.
He throws everything into space. Anything.
Why have we not started doing that in general? Why can't we just take all of our landfills and throw them into space? Just shoot them really far.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it past the moon. At that point, we don't know what the fuck happens out there.
I mean, pretty much. It's fine.
Shoot it all into space.
Fine. Just shoot it into space.
Take a rocket, shoot that, fill the rocket as much with carbon as possible.
Isn't there a Futurama episode where, like, the professor has, like, a telescope that can smell?
We got the smell scope. Yeah.
And it's because, and then he's, like, sitting there, he's like, oh no, I smell something terrible. And it's all the trash that we shot into space is, like, ricocheted and is coming back towards us.
Yes.
Like, on top of, like, a rocket or something.
You know what? Actually, that's the drawback. Because,
but, you know, we'll be dead by then.
Well, right. But I'm saying that now that I think about it, if you shoot the stuff into space, there is a potential for it to come back into the atmosphere.
It could slingshot.
At a very high velocity. So you could be just standing around.
But hopefully.
Just waiting, and you could be hit with like a half an Arby's cheddar melt.
We would hope,
space.
However, we would hope that if we still have an atmosphere at that point, that it would just burn up upon re-entry.
I don't know. What if it becomes altered in space?
Well, you mean like that Tesla that's out there?
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what's going to happen to that when it, like, crashes into, like, Mars or something. I'm like, seriously, like, did they sterilize it? What if it's got microbes on it? Are we panspermia? Like, that's when microbes from somewhere else go to a planet and, like, create life?
That was the reason. That's what they did it for. That dummy in there is filled with sperm.
Oh my God, it's just going to be a whole planet full of Elon Musks.
Oh God. Can you imagine that? Or maybe it's like different.
He's like, he was like, I always said I would get to Mars.
Mars, bitches.
And it's just like all little hymns.
Oh man.
Just marching.
But they'd have to find a way. Maybe they'll find Matt Damon.
Oh yeah.
Matt Damon.
Probably. He's probably still up there.
Yeah. Just sitting there, Matt Damon.
Growing a potato, you guys.
Growing a potato guy with my own shit.
Is that what happens in that
I think
movie?
that's what happens in that movie.
I didn't see that movie.
I think he takes a dump and then he makes a potato out of it. And that's the movie.
What, like a mud pie? What are we talking? Uses it as compost?
I am loosely recounting the plot of The Martian.
Plot of The Martian. Matt Damon goes into space, lands on Mars, takes a shit, makes it into a potato, and then lives.
Well, he makes a potato. He grows potatoes out of his own shit.
Well, you can compost.
I didn't really. I had to elaborate.
That's why I was really confused when you were talking about, like, if the potato and the shit were the same thing.
No, you're right. Yeah,
he uses it as like a fertilizer.
Yeah, he creates the potatoes.
That makes sense. Yeah. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, so that's what. Yeah, but that's what that car's doing. It's going there to. It's going there to make have some hash browns or something.
It's just gonna make all these little Elon Musks.
Oh boy,
they're gonna be really tiny.
Tiny.
Real, yeah, because I don't know. Maybe they'll get real small.
What's the gravity like on Mars? Do we know? Is it like ours?
I think it's much less. I don't actually know.
Oh,
maybe it's heavier. I don't know.
Oh, maybe they'll be bigger because they won't have as much weight keeping them down. Maybe they'll just be like these giant, like fucking Elon Musks.
Oh, huge Elon Musk.
A planet of gigantic Elon Musks.
It's like, can't wait for zero emission vehicles.
Yeah.
And they're just like wandering around, all trying to build cars.
But they don't know like language, so they're just kind of like running around going, because who's going to teach them? Wait, did they give them tapes to listen?
I don't know, but I'm certain they would invent their own language.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope I'm alive for that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Can I wait for the return of the Elon Musks? So, Shaggy Man, so they're like, so basically the Russians are like, yo, Shaggy Man, come help us. And,
They're like, yeah, so he got out of his eternal fight prison.
So, but they were like, well, no, Flash is like, no, fuck you, Russians.
You're all liars.
You're a lying piece of shit. We defeated a Shaggy Man. There was a Shaggy Man that we beat, and here it is.
Let me tell you about it. I have a videotape.
Oh, that's right. He gets a Green Lantern's vlog.
Mm-hmm. Green Lantern has a vlog, and he puts it's just on a VHS, and so Flash puts it in, and it's about how Green Lantern defeated Shaggy Man because him and Flash went fishing.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah, they went. The fucking.
I don't know.
Oh my god. God damn it. This fucking page. They spend
so much time.
Instead of just being like, we were fishing and then we went to go do this. They talk about, there's
a lot of time.
This is like a trade paperback of fucking fishing reference.
They talk about it, and they're talking about how like Flash is better at it than him or something. And
he's like, well, I was getting bites. And Flash, something about the Flash being a poor winner or whatever. And I'm like, God damn it! Just be like, we were fishing because we were being a bunch of dudes fishing.
I don't need.
And now we had to go save the world.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, thank God," because I was doing really badly fishing, so there was a distraction, and it was Shaggy Man, and then we froze him.
This truly is a vlog of our times.
It really
because it is incredibly pointless.
Yeah,
it's just Green Lantern's fishing vlog.
Yeah.
So he's over here. The idea is that he's in Alaska, and he's like, "Yo, I could see a Russia from here. Let's go check it out."
They go to Sarah Palin's house.
They go to Sarah Palin's house.
Russia. Let's go there.
They're by Sarah Palin's house. They go to Russia, and they're like, "Oh shit, there's a Shaggy Man."
Yeah.
Right. And so Green Lantern is talking about this on his podcast, and he's like, he's this vodcast. He's talking. He's like, "Yo, I tried all the things that we were doing before, and it didn't work." So
the only thing we can do is...
Well, he didn't do anything, but Flash
throws him in the water.
Flash decides to get a bunch of snow and pick him up and run him to the Arctic Circle to drop him in the water, and then he fucking creates an iceberg out of...
Yeah, he creates like an ice sculpture.
Yeah.
And they're like, and that's the end of that.
That's the end of that chapter.
And you're like, I guess for now, but
so Green Lantern's like, yo, that's what happened, and then Flash is like, yeah, and fuck you, you're getting the Shaggy Man to be a secret weapon. Fuck you, commies.
Well, because they're like, well, there's two of them. One of them we have in this little jar.
Yes.
The other one we froze into an ice sculpture. And
but Flash thinks that the Russians
are liars, and they were like, "Oh, thanks for your help, bye," and then they went right to Trump Tower.
Yes, I'll help you.
Batman,
I would like I will make Shaggy Man steaks.
But Batman doesn't really give a fuck about it.
Batman goes
because he's just like, "Can you do this thing for me?" And they're like, "Yeah." So
you missed the part where Batman goes, "Well, it must have been the Aurora Borealis that thought him out."
Nobody ever just looks at him and goes, "Do you ever hear yourself?"
He just that's the first thing he thinks of. He's like, they're like, yo, because fucking what's his face, Flash is sitting there, fucking Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and and like Batman's like, Aurora Borealis, and everybody's like, yeah, sure, great,
sure, whatever, Batman,
whatever.
You're the scientist.
He's like, all right, whatever. I'm gonna go.
You do science.
I'm gonna go.
Let's cry into your weird ice cream.
Let's go figure this out. So they go to Russia. And they apparently go to some missile base in near
Shaggy
Moscow.
Man is ripping shit up.
He is fucking it up. And I do want to point out this picture here that makes it look like Batman has a headset on.
Yes.
Because it's all it's a tight picture of them they're in a plane.
Mm-hmm. Batman is flying it.
Batman is flying it. Adam is on his shoulder. Diana's there, but it also looks like the elongated man is also poking his head, but it looks like he's coming out of Batman's ear.
Oh, it does. That's really gross. Ew.
He's like, hey, BM, I can come out of your ear.
That's right, BM. That's what he called him last time, right?
They called him in I think it was in it was either him or it was Creeper. I think
somebody was calling him BM.
Actually, I think it was the Elongated Man because it was in the Brave and the Bold we did.
Yeah.
But
gross.
so he's they're like, yo, we're being watched by the dirty Russians.
Yeah.
So don't say shit.
Yeah. So they go to fight this guy. Batman's like, I got a plan, whatever.
Well, for some reason, I want to point out, ask real quick here. In my mind, and this is another superhero that doesn't do it for me, but the Atom.
Oh, I know.
Because they just basically throw him out of the plane, and he's like, "I'm so tiny, I'm going to punch him in the face, and then I'm going to knock him out."
Yeah,
or knock him
whatever,
around.
Sure. And so
I'm
he
like,
punches him in the
whatever,
face.
Yeah.
Then Dinah screams. Blah blah blah. They're just fighting.
Elongated Man trips him with his own body.
Yeah, which finally are useful.
Yeah. I do like this question mark. This arg.
I personally like these 4 panels here where Batman is like going to do something so he can like get into the missile place, and he's just thinking to himself about like stuff. And there's like a Russian guy with a gun right behind him. Batman, without even turning around, just like throws a batarang and hits him in the face.
Oh, that guy's dead.
And just continues to do what he was doing. He like didn't even think about it. He was just like, and
he last Boy Scouted that dude in the nose with that
100%.
batarang. And that guy's dead.
That guy's 100% dead. So finally, like Flash lures him into the missile place.
Yeah, he lures him over to the missile. He lures Shaggy Man to the missiles. Shaggy Man.
And then Batman's like, "Hello, it is me, Batman. You are stupid."
Yeah, basically what happens...
He, like, really insults Shaggy Man's intelligence, and you're like, he's just, like, a big, dumb ape. Like, what?
Well,
but I don't even get it.
But for some reason, he can understand insults?
Yeah, I guess.
Because Batman's like, you suck, and your family sucks, and
yeah, he's like, you're very good at being stupid, and Shaggy Man's like, blah, and that's when he attacks.
Well, then he starts attacking this missile.
Well, because Batman runs to the top of it. And Shaggy Man's like, I will get you. So he climbs up after it.
Well, real quick, I want to point out there's this panel here. Steam from the base of the missile is confusing Shaggy Man because he lost Batman. And then he looks up and it says, then a laugh catches his attention and looks up and he spies his tormentor. And you just see like the shadow of like a bat, like Batman's symbol, but it's like supposed to be Batman, obviously.
Yeah.
I just like that Batman's like, ha ha, stupid Shaggy Man.
Yeah. So he's like climbing up this missile after him, and everyone's like, "Oh no, Batman, you're gonna die! Get off the thing!" And Elongated Man's like, "Let me make my neck really long, because apparently I can't see over the 2 people."
Even though he's taller than I think all of them anyways.
He is. And so they're like, "Oh my god, Batman, you died. We're all sad." And then Batman appears behind them. He's like, "I'm not dead." And they're like, "How'd you do it?" And he's like, "A microphone and a dummy."
Oh yeah, that's right. A dummy.
Yeah.
He loves his dummies.
But he really does. And
it's true. I mean, I guess it's true because he threw the dummy out the top of this missile.
Yeah.
The Russians after pretty much starting World War III.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. This is kind of a problem.
Yeah.
You know.
So threw him threw the Shaggy Man into space.
Which is, to be honest, what we suggested earlier.
Yeah.
You just throw him into space. If he's not, you can't kill him.
Nope.
Throw him into space.
What else are you going to do with him?
He's Jupiter's problem now.
Yeah. And Jupiter's like, dude, we've saved you so many times, but whatever. We'll take your Shaggy Man.
Yeah. They'll take the Shaggy Man and maybe they'll give him a home or something where he can fight those monsters that I believe live on Jupiter.
Uh-huh.
That I learned about from my trip to the planetarium in Buffalo in 1988.
Uh-huh. I'm not even going to correct you anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going
to let you believe it.
We just need to believe the things that I say.
Sure.
that I learned as a child.
Yep. None of it is fake news.
No, I 100%. Look, if anybody, again, plea to anybody that grew up in the mid to late 80s and went to the Buffalo Planetarium, if you remember them telling you that Jupiter is a planet made of gas and there are monsters that lived in that gas.
There are not monsters that live in the gas.
Or like alien monsters. I swear to God.
Did they say there could be? They didn't say that there were. They couldn't. Nobody knows what's on there.
Well, whatever.
It rains diamonds there.
Who?
It rains diamonds. Like the farther down, it rains neon. Jupiter's a real fucked up place.
Ooh, we live there.
We couldn't survive.
Oh, fuck. There's no place to stay. It's all gas.
That's what I like. Again, I would have to like look up gas giants, but is there a rock in the middle or is it just a big ball of gas? But the farther down you go, the more like heavy it gets and whatever. And that's when it starts like raining neon and like raining diamonds and shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it's all fucked up.
Jupiter sounds awesome.
Yeah, kind of.
And that's how, but that's it for this book. That's basically Batman's like, hey, Shaggy Man was an idiot and I won.
The end.
And then we get some letters, the JLA mailroom. Basically, this is just after Green Arrow left. There's a lot of varied opinions. Mm-hmm. A lot of people calling him a crybaby. Other people being like, "What the fuck?" You know, a lot of people. Somebody is just like, he quits JLA. I've been waiting for this for so long. Like, people are just. There's a very happy reaction to all this.
Yeah.
And also we kick it off here, and the letters really ain't much, but I just find it interesting that a pair of sisters from Cupertino, California, wrote in and got their letters both published in the same issue.
Oh man, I wonder if they put them in the same envelope.
Ooh, maybe they did. That would make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So that's it for Justice. Well, I guess we asked the question. Would you read the next one of this?
Oh yeah, these are dumb. I like them.
We probably have the next one of this.
I'm sure we probably do.
I am a big mark for the Justice League.
Yeah.
Of America. And pretty much all of it. But I'll even fuck with JLA Detroit. You know me.
Oh, I know you love a JLA Detroit.
I've tolerated it. I mean, look, I hate Vibe, but
Vibe sucks.
You know, but I'm there for John.
Well, who isn't?
Yeah, who isn't?
Love John.
Yeah, I love John. So, but that's it for this week's show. Thanks for listening. You can find myself on Twitter and Instagram at Angry Hero Sean.
And I'm at Jen Stansfield on Twitter and Instagram. Find us on Facebook at Worst Collection Ever.
Yes.
Email the show, worstcollectionever@gmail.com.
Yes.
Send us pictures of superheroes eating.
Yes, please send us more of those.
We love that.
Also, please go to Apple Podcasts or wherever it is that you get your podcasts and give us a 5-star rating or whatever. Just give us the best rating you can. We would really appreciate that. And tell a friend.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Also, check out I Can Talk Kayfabe with myself and Joe Todaro as we talk about wrestling magazines from the 80s and 90s and whenever we get them from. So, we keep a pretty irregular schedule, but there are episodes coming, so be on the lookout for that. That's it for this week's show, folks. Thanks again for listening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye.